Hey YouTube! Welcome back to another edition of Cycle QMX. I'm your host, Ryan Wood, and today we got the bike with us. It is early, it's about 8 a.m. The sun is not quite right, it's up here on this backside here, but we are working on the bike here. I do want to get a couple of these Bosch batteries installed. These are the 18 volt 6 amp hour. This is what my e-bike runs off, my Cycle QMX, my QMX bike, my QMX quad cycle, whatever you want to call it. This is what it runs on. Bosch 18 volt 6 amp hour lithium ion drill batteries. 4 of these. This is what it runs on. Now Bosch does make higher amp hour now. They come in 18 volts. I just saw them released an 8 amp hour lithium ion battery. So if you got 4 of those, you're gonna have 72 volts plus that 8 amp hours times 4. You're looking at 32 amp hours on top of 72 volts with the new versions of these. Check them out. Probably check them out on Home Depot or Lowe's. I think both those sell them. Also Amazon is where I saw them. One of my favorite places to shop. 18 volt Bosch drill batteries. This bike runs off 18 volt Bosch drill batteries. Quadricycle. Got that? Alright YouTube, so we're going to slide these in here. Our 3D printed parts are working out great. Go ahead and slide 4 of those in there. Now if you missed my other videos, don't forget to like and subscribe and get all those going for you. But we did demonstrate some of the upgrades we did on this. We had put the new rear axle on here. We put the new chain on here. We put the 3-link on here. We put the 3,000 watt 72 volt motor. So if you missed any of that, make sure you go back and check that out on our previous videos. This bike also does have independent front suspension, Fox float front suspension. That is Fox float front suspension. And then in the rear we have a DHX2. That's a DHX2 Fox racing shock, and that's about a 10.5 inches eye hole to eye hole. We're looking at about 4.5 inches of travel on that shock alone. By the time you get that out to the rear wheel, we're looking about 6 to 7 inches of travel in the rear, and I think I'm about 5 inches of travel in the front out at that wheel axle. Now we do have the Air Pro fork setup in the front, which allows us to pump one single valve and air up both shocks. Before you ride, make sure to always lube your chain, always check your tire pressure, make sure you check all your nuts and bolts. Anything can come loose, will come loose. If you've ever raced off-road or if you've ever been into any of that kind of stuff, you'll know every single bolt that is possible. If it can come loose, it will come loose. So make sure you're checking all your bolts and everything before you ride. No matter you're riding a bicycle, mountain bike, wheelchair, hand cycle, motorcycle, quad cycle, ATV, whatever you're riding, you know, your scooter, if your grandma watching this or if your grandpa watching this and you're rolling your scooter, make sure somebody's checking your stuff before you go ride. Make sure somebody's checking your bike out or your wheelchair out on a regular so that you could have proper maintenance, and that'll prevent any damage being done to your bike or to yourself or having any mishaps while you're out on the trail. Some people, if you're going to go out on a long trail, I definitely recommend some kind of kit, a little emergency kit, whether that be first aid, some band-aids, things like that, but also a tube, maybe 2 tubes, maybe a patch kit, maybe a pump. Any of those things are also included. A nice utility tool that has like a multi-tool that allows you to both have Allen wrenches, maybe a crescent wrench, you know, maybe something like that. And you could tuck that on the bike somewhere. You could put it in your backpack, whatever it is, and that'll allow you to extend your ride and keep things going. Now, all that being said, right now we're just kind of vlogging. Don't have much set up. It is early in the morning, so right now is the perfect time to do this. We don't have any wind out here in Palmdale, California. It gets hot really quick, so we're gonna run this bike. 180 millimeter rotors, front independent suspension, 3-link rear suspension, and we're gonna try to get up. I gotta get my shoes on. I don't know how many of you guys are new or used subscribers, or how many have been around for a long time, but we do run the clipless pedals. So they have this metal cleat here on the bottom, along with the pedal on the bike has magnets on it, really strong magnets. This is just a metal piece here, so you could hit the metal, you hear the metal, but this is not the magnet, so you're not going to get a bunch of stuff stuck on here. But I do get stuff stuck on the pedal every once in a while, a bolt, washer, things like that. It's also kind of convenient when I'm working on the bike. I just throw some bolts onto the pedals and it holds it up for me. But like a Mr. Rogers show, I'm going to go ahead and get my shoes on and we will get this day started. Welcome to the neighborhood, everybody. And for everybody who hasn't subscribed yet or hasn't checked out the channel before, make sure you go and check out our previous videos. We've been doing this for a while. We've built quite a few bikes. We've been out here, and now we have property and land to build more things and get more adventurous, and so that's what we're doing. If you haven't left any comments, please leave them below. YouTube is blocking comments for whatever unknown reason sometimes right now. So make sure you're complying with all the YouTube guidelines for leaving comments. Everybody's leaving nice comments, so don't worry about that. Just sometimes there's links and other stuff in there that we can't really, YouTube doesn't really like to post any of that stuff. So just keep it clean. You can also send us email at contact@cycleqmx.com. We can check on those during this crises time. We are shutting down, so we're just available through email only right now. If you'd like to place an order or anything like that, just go ahead and drop us a line over there. We will try to get to that as soon as possible. Now, if you're out there building your own bike, Amazon is taking a while to get parts through and shipped if they're not deemed essential, so take that into consideration. Although it is a good time for many people that are off work, small hobbyists, machinists may have some machines in their home, may normally be at work, may be home right now, so maybe you can get in contact with some of them and help get your bike built during this time that is shut down. Or if you have any uncles, aunts, brothers, sisters, whatever you got, maybe they're a welder, maybe they fabricate, maybe they're a machinist, maybe they just want to help out. Maybe they don't know how to do any of those things and you know how to do them and you just need some help getting them done. Invite them over. Tell them to come, hey, work on my bike, work on my QMX. Let's get this thing built. We need to get out and get adventurous. Don't forget gloves. I got some gloves here. I have a tendency to go through quite a few gloves. As you can see, these are only about 2 days old and I've already pretty much worn them out. Now, without any further ado, I am going to go ahead and get up onto this bike right now. I am flying solo today. I do have some help nearby, but they are doing other work, so bear with me on the camera situation. I am going to try to take it with me and get this thing going. Otherwise, I will try to film again maybe another day and get somebody out here to help film, and you can get some more wide angle shots, maybe catch me catching air. But for right now, we're just going to do a ride along. Ready? Ready? Ready, YouTube? Stand by. So I don't know if I've really shown this yet in this new bike, but the seat is about here, about yay high. It's kind of tight getting in between, but hopefully you can see all this. as a paraplegic, I do have good upper body strength. I'm a T6 para. For those of you that are able bodies, this will be no problem, but for those of you that are quads or paras, I would recommend getting assistance anytime you transfer. If you don't feel comfortable, all we need is you getting hurt. We don't need that anytime right now, so make sure if you're not comfortable transferring on your own, then get some help. I always like to set the e-brake. So on this particular bike, that's I use a Tektro hydraulic disc brakes, and they have a lockout so that you can actually lock the brakes so the bike doesn't move while you're trying to transfer. Now ideally, I try to get both my legs kind of going in the right direction. And then here we go. It's one shot, one move. Boom. Just like that, YouTube. And then we clip our feet in. I don't know if you can hear that, the little bit of snap. I'll go ahead and back my chair up a little bit, because I got to eventually come over there and reach the camera. Sitting on the seatbelt. That never helps. Alright, so we're locked in, ready to go. We flick the switch. Right now I'm going to try reverse, take off the e-brake. We got reverse. Alright, go forward. Now with that solid rear axle, doesn't like really turning on the concrete. But we're going to give this a whirl. So here we go, reverse again. Then let's run everything over in reverse. Now, I do always recommend wearing a helmet, but today we're just going to cruise it. So, I don't know how we're going to do this. I think I may have to set you down. Just hang on for a moment. Alright, so you can see she gets up pretty good. We're just rolling now. Sorry for the steadiness. Oh, trying to hold on one-handed. Coming up too. So, alright, we're gonna do some quick lockdowns. I'm gonna try to set you up here. Stand by.